card. They're all set. They're off. First of them away, Seminole Brave, but Sharp Bob and Perceive are rushing forward. I'm Icy is starting to come across very quickly. Devoted Star jump well, drifting back shortly after. And Harvey's going to send Levitate forward to be right over the speed early on. Blooms behind those, being followed further back, playing Marika. Then came Paris Report, who'd settled back worse than midfield. At the head of the others, Captivated Point, Heavenly Affair, 10 Carat, Double the Pro, and last of all is Go Crying in a strung out field as they head past the 650. The pace has really been on from the word go. It's Sharp Bob that leads them to the turn. I'm Icy is second. A length and a half away, Levitate going up there, 3 off the fence. On the rail, Seminole Brave. Then came Blooms, Perceive behind those. Wider out, then playing Marika. Devoted Star cutting the corner, heading back towards the inside. 350 from home. Sharp Bob tackled by I'm Icy, Levitate. Behind those, Seminole Brave down the outside, playing Marika. Devoted Star doing nothing but Levitate now launches. Levitate takes off at the 100, burst clear. Levitate running away from Seminole Brave, and the last is over. Massive win by Levitate. Levitate blew them away, won by about 4.5 Seminole Brave. Double the Pro made up good ground. Wider out then came on the outside. Both Captivated Point, Go Crying together. They were followed by I'm Icy, Sharp Bob weakening. Followed further back then, pulling up behind them, Heavenly Affair. Also playing Marika. Devoted Star didn't fire a solitary shot. Well back 10 Carat. Paris Reports finished well back as well. And the last of them home is Blooms. What a win by Levitate. That was an awesome victory. He'd worked 3 deep. Harvey had him punching up right on the speed, and when he let down, he just erupted. And that gives the Pontiff the second leg of a double. Levitate, much, much too good, with an explosive victory in the last. Number 4, Levitate has destroyed his rivals. 9, Seminole Brave has run second. Double the Pro, finishing on into third place, but this is won by about 4 or 5 at the finish. Magnificent win by Levitate, and that's the third from 9 starts. Tight go for fourth between I'm Icy and Captivated Point, but certainly not a shot fired by Devoted Star. Paris Report neither, and got well back in the field. The winner is by Hassan from Defying Gravity. Raced by Jared and also Greg Lockridge, DJ, Mrs. S. White, D. Ralph, M. Aitken, R. Sargent and Ellie Crisp. Prepared by Simon Miller and ridden to victory by Paul Harvey. And officially has won by 4 1/4 with a length and a half that separated second and third. The time they ran 1:11.34. They were hiking, and that made the win even more impressive. And 35 neat, the sectional time there. But when Paul gave this a kick, he just absolutely took off and gapped them in the twinkling of an eye. It was a wonderful victory. Might suffice to say, it could be a PB. A brilliant win in the last on the card. Okay, so a big day for William Pike. He rode 3. The Pontiff booted home a double with that win. Jade McNaught kicked home a double. And we saw Windstorm go on and win again. So some highlights this afternoon on top of the victory of Essential Spice in the Beaufort. Let's go downstairs now and catch up with Brittany Taylor, and that is some kind of a win.
Well, we may have saved the best to last in terms of dominance of the win, and it does go to Levitate. The 3-year-olds at this time of year taking on the older horses. They're doing it with so much success. Kelly from the stable joins me now. And Kel, this is a horse that has been promising to win for 3 starts now and has been beaten by the most narrow of margins. How did you assess today's performance?
Oh, it was fantastic. It's good to see him get a win on board. He's run into some really good horses, and he's a horse that is still learning so much. He's still probably another prep away, so who knows from here.
Simon described him as a lunatic behind the scenes and opted to scratch from last week, just thinking that he was that little bit flat, not quite himself. Did you see him really perk up this week?
He did. He's had a pretty good week, and Chloe Azzopardi does all the work on him back home. So he's definitely a horse that gets better in time, and his manners are so much better now than they used to be. So aided by a good ride, perfect.
It certainly was from a wide gate. Well done to you.
Thanks, Britt.
Kelly Kinnamont joining me from the stable, and We'll let her go because little Ned on the fence is waiting for a photo with the horse that they're going to take. So just seeing if I can spot him over there while we're waiting to catch up with Paul Harvey. Ned, whose parents own a share and has been following this horse's career so closely. What did you think of the win of Levitate?
It was good
When did you think that he had it in the bag?
the whole way.
Were you cheering loudly from the grandstand?
Yes.
How good is that? That's the best. Well done to you.
Yeah, he finally won.
He finally won, I know. I think that's the sentiments of Simon Miller and a lot of punters too. And now Paul Harvey is catching up with Scott Embry.
Thanks, Britt. I've got Paul here, and we're just mentioning off air, Paul, he had run into a fair few nice 3-year-olds, and it looked a good race for him on paper.
Yeah, it looked that way. Yeah, it was a matter of probably getting a little bit of luck in run from the draw, but you know, some of them horses that go forward make their own luck.
When you did get him out of the gates and you tried to settle him, he looked to get a little bit fired up, but then came back to you. Is that the way it felt?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was keenish in running, but you know, not uncontrollable. He was okay.
Congratulations, another Saturday double. It's becoming a regular thing. Well done, Paul.
Yeah, cheers, thanks.
Paul Harvey, brilliant ride on Levitate in the last. Had that wide draw to contend with, but you summed it up before the race, Scott. There was that speed drawn inside him and he was able to come across with it and just lob in to the beautiful spot just in behind those two pacemakers and land the 1-1. And I thought Ned summed it up perfectly. For a little boy, all he said, well, finally he won one, and Levitate deserved that. Thank you for your company throughout the afternoon on Sky Thoroughbred Central. It's been a big 9-race program. That's it from us. Scott and Michael Heaton will be joining you from Carnarvon tomorrow. But from me, it's a very good night.